Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to tackle a real mind bender, a paradox that feels like pure magic. How in the world do AI chatbots remember things about you and get this, they have absolutely no memory whatsoever?
I mean, you've totally experienced this, right? You'll tell a chatbot some little detail, your name, a project you're working on, and then a few messages later, it brings it up. It feels like it's actually listening, like it remembers. But how?
Well, here it is, the big reveal. The large language model itself remembers nothing. Zero. What feels like memory to us is actually a brilliant engineering trick. It's a bit of sleight of hand happening just out of sight. So you want to see how the magic trick works? Let's pull back the curtain.
All right, to pull that curtain back, we have to start with the most fundamental thing you can know about an LLM. At their very core, these models are completely stateless. And once you really get this one concept, the whole puzzle starts to make sense.
Okay, imagine a genius pianist. They can play any piece of music you put in front of them, flawlessly, but they are physically incapable of memorizing a single note. The second you take away the sheet music, the song vanishes from their mind. Every single time they play, it's like they're seeing it for the very first time. That's an LLM.
So, if our genius pianist can't remember the melody, how do we get them to play a whole symphony, right? Well, it's simple, really. We just give them a giant scrolling music stand that shows them the entire score from the very beginning.
Now, every LLM has one of these music stands. It's called a context window. And all that is really is the total amount of sheet music the model can look at in one single go. It's the size of the music stand our forgetful musician is working with. And this right here shows you exactly how that illusion is built. When you ask your next question, the system doesn't just send the new question. No, it secretly bundles up the entire conversation history and sends it all back to the model every single time. The LM isn't remembering you like Blue, it's just rereading the line "my favorite color is blue" from the sheet music we just handed.
Now this music stand trick, it's incredibly effective. For a while, but it's also a pretty fragile system and it has some really critical breaking points. So let's talk about where this whole idea of short-term memory just completely falls apart.
So, first off, the music stand is only so big, right? As the symphony, our conversation, gets longer, the first few pages start to scroll off the bottom and poof, they're gone, forgotten. Second, the moment you start a new concert, a new chat, the entire music stand is wiped clean. And maybe most importantly, the sheet music from one concert is totally invisible during another one.
To fix all that, we need a serious upgrade. We have to go beyond a temporary music stand and build our amnesic musician a permanent external music library. We need to hire a full-time librarian. And this is the whole idea behind creating long-term memory. See, unlike that music stand, this librarian's entire job is to create a persistent, super detailed catalog about you and your preferences. And we're not talking about just a messy pile of old sheet music. Oh no, this is a highly organized archive. And it's structured in a way that's surprisingly similar to our own human memory.
And this table just brilliantly breaks down how that library is set up. Think of semantic memory as the composer's notes section, hard facts like your favorite key or preferred tempo. Then there's episodic memory, which is like a collection of concert programs from the past, summarizing important performances. And finally, procedural memory, which is the conductor's guide, a set of instructions on how to best perform for you, like, say, always ending on a dramatic final chord.
Okay, so having a library is one thing, but it's pretty useless if you can't find anything in it. This is where the most critical piece of the whole system comes in, the intelligence layer that actually runs the show. Let's call it the memory controller.
This memory controller, this is our smart librarian. It's a system that sits between you and the LLM, and it's actively listening to everything you say. Its only job is to figure out what's important enough to be filed away in that permanent archive.
And this creates this beautiful non-stop loop. The librarian is listening, it hears a key fact about you, and it creates a new index card for the archive. Then the next time you start a chat, it proactively runs to the archives, pulls out all the relevant cards, and sticks them right at the top of the music stand for our musician to read. It's brilliant.
So this is the absolute key difference. Humans have memory. We recall things from our own internal biological brains. LLMs use context. They retrieve information from an external system that we, as engineers, have painstakingly built for them. It is the fundamental difference between actually knowing something and just being told it at the perfect moment.
And that, right there, is the big takeaway from all this.
That feeling of being remembered by an AI, it's a powerful, powerful illusion. And it's powered by this incredibly sophisticated external filing system that's constantly feeding the right sheet music to a brilliant but hopelessly forgetful musician.
So all this leaves us with one last pretty fascinating question to think about. As these external libraries and their smart librarians get faster and more powerful and more complete, will the distinction between a genuine memory and a perfect, instantaneous performance even matter to us anymore? Thanks so much for joining this explainer.